Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I'm reading Death of Hawkman #1 out of a 6-issue miniseries. Now, I'm a huge fan of Hawkman, I know. What? Professor Bill, are you a psychopath? No, I'm just a nerd, and I really like Hawkman. Maybe it's more of a nostalgia thing than anything else, but I don't know, when I was a kid, just seeing this huge dude with these gigantic wings behind him was just, to me, that was absolutely amazing. And, while the stories haven't always been the best, the backstory behind it and the many, many backstories, it's interesting. So I finished reading this issue today and I'm a bit confused. This is not a Hawkman story. Sorry. Hawkman's in the very first, not even 3 pages, more like 3 panels, for crying out loud. Guys, we're going to start off on a fairly confusing note here. Right away, the comic book starts off with now, indicating that there's going to be a past and present storyline that will oftentimes jump back and forth. Fortunately, that doesn't happen here. We do the now, about a page and a half, 2 pages of now, and then we go off to the back then so we know how we got here. So basically, even though this is issue 1 in a 6-issue miniseries, this should have been .01 because this is a prequel. Those first couple panels that have Hawkman in it with Adam Strange are the only panels in this entire comic that have Hawkman in it. No, this is an Adam Strange story at this point. We're on planet Rand. Adam Strange is walking and helping Hawkman to walk because, wow, he's hurt. He's got arrows all up inside him, which means that the Thanagarians have apparently attacked again. Well, I get proven right, and it's not that hard of a stretch of imagination. The Rand-Thanagar War has been going on in the comics forever. Well, Adam Strange moves him to a safe spot, and he's sitting there, and he starts ripping the arrows off of him and giving himself a couple of moments to heal. He grabs a dead body and rips the clothes off it to dress his wounds. Hawkman's a survivor, man. He's a tough guy. He also heals 3 times or so, maybe 5 times faster than the average human being, as long as he's got the Thanagarian nth metal on him. So, he's a tough guy. Anyway, there's some noise in the background and some activity. Adam Strange can't get too much of a bead with the equipment, so he decides to go and take a look around. A little bit of recon. That is where the now ends. Now we go to then. That was confusing, right? Well, we go into a day in the life of Adam Strange where basically he's just biding his time, doing whatever, until he can go and be a superhero on Rand, when the Zeta Beam is able to activate and send him back to Rand. Also, he misses his honey, Alana. Well, he's in the DMV, and all of a sudden his watch goes off. Hey, it's time! So he runs into a back alley where the Zeta Beam is supposed to pick him up, and nothing. So he spends the next couple of days, it seems, trying to figure out what's going on. Like, why is this happening? How come the Zeta Beam isn't picking him up? He does his little investigations and sees that the Zeta Beam has gone to several different locations. We're talking about Coast City, St. Roch, I don't know the proper name for that, but and in Metropolis and in Gotham and New York City proper, and he's all over the place. So he contacts Cyborg aboard the Watchtower. Cyborg brings him up. Hey, Adam is technically a Justice League member, so Cyborg's going to help him out. Well, he starts teleporting him to different locations that he'd seen on the map. And he visits Lex Luthor's LexCorp area and talks to some people there, and hey, is anything strange happening? Is anybody or anything missing or reappearing? What's going on here? He does the same thing with Wayne Tech Industries, and he does the same thing over in Fenris Airport Base and down in the big Supermax prison facility in Louisiana, and he's all over the place, and it turns out to be a complete and total bust. Well, he goes back home and he's just chilling and being really upset, missing his honey, his main squeeze, and all sorts of weird things. And suddenly the Zeta Beam works, and he's in his apartment and just gets blipped over, and so now he's on the planet Rand in his Adam Strange outfit, of course, but Rand is war-torn. There are dead bodies everywhere, destruction, buildings blown apart and everything, and whoa, what's going on? And that's how the comic ends. Yeah, so the whole comic was basically me watching a dog chase his own tail in a circle. I'm giving this a thumbs down. I'm actually really upset by this comic. Such a huge waste. They need to do something. I'm going to read the next one just because it's only 6 issues. I'm expecting they're going to get to a point where Hawkman is actually a part of the story. You know, it's an issue 1. I guess you got to give it the backstory thing, but this should have been a prequel comic. I'm literally watching a story that turns out to be a not story. That's what I read, and I'm actually upset at this comic. Yeah, guys, I'm recommending skip this comic. I mean, if you're a collector, if you happen to be a complete and total freak like me and love Hawkman stories, get it. You're going to get it anyway. I am hopeful that they're going to really change this around a lot, but even if the next 5 issues are superstar double thumbs up, this issue, DC, you got a lot to show me. If you're going to sit here and turn around and make this into oh yeah, I can see how that story was actually necessary. Clearly, they're going to find a way to explain why the Zeta beam wasn't working. I mean, they had Alana and her dad, why didn't the beam work? Well, it is sending it out. It's just not going to the right places. And, oh, what's going on here? And just, it was kind of a waste. And all of a sudden, there's like a terrorist attack, and 2 Hawkmen come in and say, aha, you scum of Rand. So, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, not happy with this comic. Not at all. So, DC, stop. Guys, Comic Book University, this is Professor Bill. I'm going to go bang my head on the wall. Class is dismissed.